We are recording. We're about to start dropping frames like we do every week.
Of course, as is tradition now, apparently.
We can't be live without lag.
Of course.
One day
Just
I'll
wouldn't be
figure
right.
why. One day I'll figure why. I think I need a new computer. This thing's like getting up there in age. It's almost 6 years old now. And
Oh, yeah.
it was good at the time, but it wasn't like ahead of the curve. So
hmm
yeah,
So, yeah.
maybe I'll start saving up for a new one soon.
Yeah.
After I get like 2 more bookshelves.
Oh, too many things to buy.
That's a mood. I actually
Yeah.
desperately need to stop buying stuff because
Yeah.
holy shit, I have so much content to get through.
Yeah. Oh,
And so much stuff that I have, like subscription services for content I don't get to either. It's
Yeah.
pretty brutal. I need to stop. But I've actually been burning through content this week. I got through a ton.
oh, really?
Wait, why are we hosting again? We were just live. Why is it hosting us when we're live?
Oh,
Twitch.
thanks, Twitch.
Twitch. What the?
Shoutouts to Twitch.
Terrible. I can't unhost. I just tried to. It didn't unhost for me. Let me refresh.
I refreshed the page.
Okay,
It's not hosting.
Okay.
Oh,
What
what a
was
good website.
that? I'm so sad that doesn't show up on stream. I should have just pulled my Twitch thing over so I could have shown it on
Yeah.
stream.
Oh,
What could have been? So,
good, reliable website. Anyway, this is
yeah.
Shenanimegans. Season
Speaking-
8, episode 4?
Yes.
Right.
Episode 4.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Quarter of the way through the season already.
oh yeah, we are.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm
January.
last. Yeah, I'm lastly. And
I'm Robots or Sasam, depending
yeah.
on where you see me
Yeah.
on the interwebs.
Yeah.
One day I just need to go through, find all my accounts, and just list all of the usernames, and people are just be like, what the fuck?
Too many names.
Too many.
Yeah. So, yeah. Should we get into it then?
Yes.
Get into this news.
Speaking of subscription services and me not using
Yeah.
them, despite paying for them, there's a new manga
Yeah.
subscription service.
Well, is it a subscription? It's supposed to be free.
I heard it was a subscription, but Jump Plus Digital Service Global will have thanks to Manga Plus new app. I think it
says
depends.
it says it's free, but I don't believe that. There must be like ads or something. I wouldn't.
Yeah, there's probably like
Yeah.
a pay for version that gives you like other stuff.
Mhm.
But this is exciting for me. I'm kind of confused because Viz just changed how their their subscription worked for buying like the weekly volumes. So I
Mhm.
guess that just got scrapped.
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
And hopefully this means because I couldn't with World Trigger moving off of Shonen Jump, I couldn't actually watch anymore because they only had Shonen Jump for on Viz. So I need to check this and see if World Trigger is on there, so I can.
Yeah. Yeah, the list on Crunchyroll article says World Trigger's there.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
And
Right.
yeah, I'm looking at their website, at the Manga Plus website, and it says it's totally free. That's real weird.
Yeah, I saw around there it's gonna be a subscription service.
Huh.
Interesting, but that's cool. It's like we're gonna beat free online piracy by just putting it out for free anyways, which is genius. And then they I guess go through sales.
Yeah.
Trying to stay up. I need to send this to some people.
Yeah. Okay. This is cool then. I thought it was going to be there was some other manga service that was going to be like the latest stuff is free, but then older stuff is paid. But I'm looking at the first volume of World Trigger right now and scrolling through it, no problem.
That's
This is cool.
really cool.
Yeah. there's not actually much manga on this that I am interested in reading, but it's good to know that all this stuff is available for people. But yeah, I guess they're just hoping that it's going to like drive physical sales, I guess, or subscriptions to their actual things. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is for physical, because I'm pretty sure physical sales are probably their number one, or digital, their volume sales are probably their number one source of income for stuff, because like I don't know anyone who was buying like Shonen Jump stuff. They use cookies, so they're probably going to analyze traffic, so they're probably reselling some information, but that's how they get some money back for this. But like
everyone does that nowadays, so
it's interesting because you're gonna make absolutely like all your money is going to come out of selling the manga volumes digital or physical, because half of these titles weren't on Shonen Jump, so you couldn't buy them through Viz either. So half of these, literally, their only income was from those sources, and people just read it online illegally for free.
Yeah.
Like, the people who aren't going to buy them aren't going to buy them and just read them illegally no matter what. This way, you have a legal way to do it with better infrastructure. The illegal pirate sites aren't going to make nearly as much money off these series anymore, which will drop their income and how much they make off all the like adware and shit it downloads onto you. It's safer for the people, and it's just like there's so many more positives to this, but it's hard to believe a company actually went, yeah, here's all of our content free. But apparently they did it, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's really wild.
Yeah. It's cool. I finally get to catch up on World Trigger.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to be reading a lot of different Viz stuff here to see if I want to pick it up and buy it or not. Because that's the other thing. You get so many hit or miss stuff that you buy one volume that you don't keep buying it. Being able to see ahead, you'll buy a volume for something you know you like, and you're going to lock yourself into all of those volumes because you know you like it.
So yeah, that's really cool news. It's a cool thing they're doing.
Yeah. Some notable stuff I see on here. Apparently there's a re-edition of Bakuman and Naruto. I don't know what that is, but it's like number 8 re-edition. Oh, some stuff is money, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe? No, I can... Naruto update schedule, new chapter arrives every day. No, that's... It says $12, but that's supposed to be time.
Yeah, that's just a typo.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
The revival, publish a new chapter. So I guess instead of just throwing it on all at once, they're putting out chapter by chapter so you can read it daily. That's kind of neat. It's actually a super neat way to do it, because it's like you go through it again.
This is weird. The latest 7 chapters updated are viewable, but after only the 7th latest chapters, anything older than that will be hidden. That's weird. Okay.
Interesting. So maybe you can only see the newest stuff. If you want to go into backlog, you have to.
Yeah, for some of these, I guess.
Or it might just be the way they're reissuing it, like the re-edition stuff, like Claymore and stuff. And maybe it will eventually be.
Yeah, it was for Naruto and Bakuman, because the other ones I'm looking at aren't.
Claymore has it too. Anything that says re-edition, it looks like. Death Note.
Interesting.
So maybe it's just something with how they're doing that. I'm not sure, because Demon Slayer has chapters 1 to 3, and then the 3 newest. They don't have the stuff in between. But I heard somewhere saying they're going to start adding the in-between chapters that are missing to a lot of these. There's like all 12 chapters of Drunken, which is a simul release. I'm very curious how they're doing it. It's not very clear.
Yeah.
They have like the first 2 chapters we're getting into, and then the newest. Latest 3 chapters are viewable. Please be aware that the third latest chapter will begin when a new chapter's added. Okay, so it looks like it only has like the intro stuff, and then whatever the newest stuff is, you can if you're like staying up to date, you'll be up to date. But if you fall behind, you have to buy. That's kind of shitty.
That's weird.
Yeah, that makes it so much harder. That completely defeats the point of getting into new stuff and for new people to get into. Like, they're gonna read the first 3 chapters and then go, oh, I like this. Go to a pirate site, read the rest of it, then come back. It also really sucks for World Trigger, because that means I can't actually catch up because there's been too many volumes missing in between, I'm pretty sure. What was the last fucking chapter I got to read? I need to see. I don't remember. I think I might barely just be able to catch up. But yeah, that's really awkward. There's a bunch of stuff I wanted to check out, but...
Huh. That's weird.
That sucks, because I also had to catch up on my hero. Alright, what chapter of World Trigger am I on? I want to see if this is actually useful to me. I mean, it's better than nothing. That's not correct. I don't have the correct thing on my MAL because I was reading my physical volumes.
Oh, whoops.
So let's, let's do this. World Trigger, World Trigger. I'm going to see what the latest other translation was. 166. Yeah, I'm missing about 5 or so chapters. God fucking damn it. You almost had something good, and then you screwed up. No one could legally read those 5 chapters during that time. And I can't even find them anywhere. I can't even find them anywhere, so if I try to read the 3x3 to catch up, I'm actually just missing a chunk.
Yeah.
So it's pointless for me to try, because I'm not going to know what the fuck's happening. I need to literally just wait for the volumes. This is actually such a shitty system the more I'm looking at this. This is fucking awful.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I wonder what the differentiation is for things that are available completely free and ones that aren't.
Are there any that are completely free?
Yeah, there are some. On the update schedule, say all chapters are free and ready to enjoy. Yeah. So there are some, but I just wonder.
I haven't even found a single one yet.
I
haven't
found some.
a single one that says it's free.
I was just looking at things. It was land block and summertime rendering, which I don't know what those are, but they say they're free. So there are a couple at least. If you go up to the manga list at the top, it'll show all of them.
It looks like it's a web manga.
Yeah.
So it's probably up free somewhere else anyways.
I have no idea.
On their What Is Manga Plus site.
I don't know. I didn't find their About Us to be particularly useful.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just saying, like, hey, check us out. Where the fuck do I go complain? Where the fuck do I go to complain?
Yeah.
News and events, oh, here we go. There's a help/fac. Service. Is it free? Yeah, service is completely free. Is there an official service? Completely official. What kind of comics can I read? You can read from Shonen Jump. There's a recommended browser. Where comics updated, same time as Japan. How to change, how to use the... Can't find the comment I want. The situation. Only some might display it. Sorry, some are not available depending on location. Due to licensing, there's a missing chapter. Yeah, this service posts some opening episodes and some of the latest episodes of each comic. You can check available chapters in more detail on the comics page. And they have Spanish and English. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Comments, other... Can I send an inquiry? If any feedback, send it to feedback at the bottom of sayings. We'll read all comments, but we won't reply to them all. Alright, yeah, no, fuck this service. I'm actually pissed. Like, it's almost so good, and then it's just like, yeah, but fuck anyone who wants to catch up on these series and have been waiting for, like, anyone who's been buying the volumes is just screwed now, because they've, like, faithfully been sticking to legal means, and now there's this new legal mean, but they can't use it because they can't catch up without doing so illegally. Like, it's so dumb.
That's real weird.
What the fuck is this site? Who thought this was a good idea? I mean, I thought it was a good idea for a second, but...
I wonder if they're, like, considering for the future adding a feature like pay to get those between chapters. That would be the sensible thing. Maybe. That's what I assume they would do, but, like, it's so weird to just not have that. They're saying it's completely
free. They're saying there will never be a charge, so I doubt they're bringing in.
They didn't say it never would be. They just said it's completely free. But
I doubt they're going to, because they're advertising it as completely free. They're probably not going to want to. Ugh.
Anyway, there's another news thing.
I'm pissed. This is a terrible, terrible. Man, I don't even know how to explain how pissed I am with this.
Anyway, go on to the other news story then.
Yeah, let me pretend I'm not salty for the rest of tonight. I thought I could finally catch up on World Trigger. Fucking situation. It's terrible ass decisions. Just dangling in front of you like, look, we're doing something good, JK, you're fucked. We don't give a shit about you. We don't know how to fucking run a company. Or how to, like, please our fans. And I get it, they don't want it all free because then you're not buying stuff, but it's like, they're just gonna read it legally anyways. They don't give a shit, the people who read it for free. Like, no, fucking no. Anyways, Premiere!
Yeah.
We got Premiere stuff, which...
Yeah, a proper trailer.
Yeah, this is not like anything what we thought when we first saw the preview.
Yeah.
The graphics look really pretty. But like,
kinda.
I don't know, the colors are pretty. There's some scenes that look gorgeous, and then some that are like, this is just like some low poly Ichio game, sort of. It also looks like very standard Trigger. Good guys versus bad guys, mech suit things with big mouths. Points.
Yeah. Oh, it's still weird seeing this, because like Trigger, I always think of Trigger as being like a lot of really high quality 2D animation, so seeing this be almost entirely CG is just real weird. I don't know. It's like not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just off-putting.
There's one interesting thing here. The leader of the evil bondage people who wear black uniforms with enough belts to rival Final Fantasy, the written here is Leo Fotia, the leader of Mad Burnish. Leo seems like the person who keeps their cool, but it's actually the opposite. They don't use any gendered terms in this article on them. And this, I believe, is a translation of their character design sheet. When they use clearly masculine and feminine for the others, but that could just be whoever's reading it. But I think it's a translation of their sheet, so maybe that's on purpose. Maybe they're a gender neutral character, which could be cool.
Maybe, yeah, that'd be good. Oh. Yeah, it looks like that's the only character that doesn't get gendered. Interesting. So yeah. Will be
interesting.
When is this coming out? Not for a while still, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's till 2020, I thought. I could be wrong.
No, it's 2019, I think. I thought.
I see a 5 down here, so I want to guess May.
May.
Yeah. I saw
A May
5 at the bottom of the
theatrical debut.
poster.
Yep. Sometime in May. Okay.
Alright. Cool.
So yeah, a thing to look forward to, I guess.
I mean, it's a movie, so if it's terrible, we only have to sit through it for like 2 hours
Yeah.
at most. So
Although it's a movie, so it might never come to North America. So who
I don't
knows?
know. A lot of
Where's
movies
the-
have been coming to North America. We're never gonna get a physical release because that's Trigger, but Japanese movie releases usually have English subtitles on them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not always the best, but they usually do have English subtitles on movie releases. So you can probably import one. I know the Little Witch Academia OVAs you can import with
Yeah.
subtitles. But yeah, it'll probably show up on Netflix, my guess. Or it might
Oh, yeah,
have a
probably.
limited theater run, which if it does, I'll hopefully go see.
Yeah, I bet it'll be Netflix because Netflix buys up all the Trigger stuff. You know, or not all of it, but they have like Kill Kill and
Yeah, but they bought those like,
Evangelion.
rights later after the company
Yeah.
like said, we don't want to actually
true.
sell Blu-rays people can buy. We're just going to put on Netflix instead because Netflix will
Yeah.
pay us money.
Yeah.
That was it.
It wouldn't surprise me if Netflix gets this and then waits till next year to put it up or something.
Probably. And then
Just
we'll
for
suffer.
no reason.
It'll
Yeah.
probably be faster to just import a copy, yeah.
Yeah.
Which will suck.
Anyway.
Maybe a limited
So,
run.
yeah.
Yeah, now that we've ranted for 20 minutes, because I still fucking hate that service, and I'm gonna make it known.
Yeah.
This is
So, yeah.
the worst manga decision Shueisha has made since the time they went around banning their top like manga collector YouTubers because they flipped through the pages to show off the art. Like the #1 manga YouTuber, Insidious Sweet, I don't think is even back. I think he just, after his channel got nuked by them, just quit. To my knowledge, like, he's still collecting, but to my knowledge, I think he quit YouTube. Good job, Insidious Sweet. There goes your #1 marketer. Got millions of views every video. People are like, cool, I'm gonna go pick that up. Sorry, I just am really salty about Shueisha right now. Yeah, 5 months since his last video.
Yeah.
Rest in pieces.
Anyway.
Yep.
Have you been watching or reading any stuff lately?
I have. I've actually gone on a binge through content.
Ooh.
So,
Alright.
first up, not anime, but the new Young Justice comic line started. So I picked up volume 1. And then I picked up a bunch of variant covers for it with the main characters. Holy shit, comics are expensive. Like,
Yeah.
buying the omnibus that's like 7 volumes for like $20, that's not bad. Buying a single volume is like $5 alone. It's like you get 4 for the same price. It's
Yeah.
yikes. And it's
Yeah.
like the most crazy part is it's the same price to buy it digitally usually.
Oh.
And it's like, well, there's streaming services, $10 a month for Marvel, read all their stuff. Okay, that's cool. It doesn't seem like they do have a buy edition, like, volumes thing, but I don't know how it works, because their site layout is a fucking mess. It's atrocious. Worst user interface I've ever seen. So I'm not even trying with that right now. I'm sticking with my DC. DC doesn't have a service. Oh wait, it does, just not in Canada, with no plans to bring it here. So it sounds like they've started a service. I don't know how much you actually get to read. It says limited, or I've heard it's limited, but you do get to read some comics. And it's linked to the same DC service that gets you the TV shows like Titans and stuff, which isn't in Canada and has no plans to come. So we don't get that. We have to just buy the issues, which again are the same price. The upside is old stuff is all like $1 in issues, so that's not bad because old issues have gone up in price for good quality, not damaged ones. So being able to read them in like full scan quality, that's great. New stuff, you want to buy the volumes that have 7 issues in one when they go on sale. Because when they go on sale, it's like $6. So that's not bad, but usually it's still like 5 per volume, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So the cheapest way I can find to buy, or the cheapest like way you can generally buy, that's on average the cheapest, is the like volumes with like 1 to 7 copies in like the soft cover, or sometimes the hardcover that has more. The problem is they don't always just collect all of a line. It'll be like, here's 1 to 6, and then 8 to 9, and then it's like, where's the other one? It's like, oh, that's in another book because there's a crossover there, so it's just missing and stuff like that, which is the downside. When you buy single volumes, you can buy all just the volumes you need. It's a mess. Comics are a fucking mess. Why the fuck did I get them? God. But yeah.
Everything I've ever heard about comics makes it seem like they're a mess.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the new Young Justice line because it seems cool. I'll stick with that because it's right from the beginning. It'll make it easy entry point. That's all we gotta worry about. Besides that, more not anime stuff, but I read Ink and Bone by Lisa Unger. It was okay. It wasn't very good, but I finished a book. Yay! And then I finished Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, which was also just okay, but as a book. Yeah, see, as I said, I'm like powering through content. I read those 2 books. I read a quarter of Circe. I read half of Phantom Army by David Muir. I read the 2nd volume of Teen Titans Earth 1, so I finished that comic series. None of this is goddamn anime. I finished more episodes of the Young Justice TV show. That's like all Western stuff. I've powered through content. And then getting to anime stuff. I finished the 1st volume of Occultic 9. Which is crazy that it just ends where the 1st episode ends, but there's more depth and stuff because it goes through more people's point of views, but it's really interesting and neat. But at the same time, holy shit, I want something to happen. Like, it's built up so many different things that could happen, you're just waiting for it to start. And I guess it sort of does right at the end, so you're like, I guess I need to read volume 2. But it has a lot of problems with, like, homophobia and transphobia.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a cafe owner who, like, he's creepy, he probably likes guys, and then, like, the illustration of him, it's clearly not a him, it's clearly a trans woman, but fucking the author's obviously got some issue, or it's supposed to be the point of view of the kids because they're shitty kids, who knows. You need to read more to know, but yeah, it's really bothersome. So that sucks.
Yeah.
But I finished that, and then the last thing I finished was the 2nd half of Humanity Has Declined. So, as I said, I actually went through a bunch of content today. Not all anime, or this week.
Yeah.
Some anime. More anime than usual, so. We've been on that content binge. It's been going alright.
Yeah.
Humanity Has Declined is good, it's fun, it's cool, it's really neat. My biggest problem with it is the first 2 episodes are the best, by far. And they drag you in so hard, and the rest, none of it really lives up to. It's all good, but it's like... the problem is when it's good, but you blow your load in the beginning, it just kind of doesn't live up to the expectations, even though it's good. It's like you just had slightly high expectations because of the first 2 episodes. You're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
But it's still neat. It's a very, very weird and out there series. I would recommend watching the first 2 episodes at least, if nothing else, because evil plots by skinned chickens. That's about all I have to say. It makes no sense.
Interesting. I might check that out then.
It is absolute, like, crazy nonsense, and it's great. They do a neat thing with time where it seems like each episode, except for the first, which is the weird thing, seems to be going backwards in time. Except the 2nd episode, it seems like should be after the, or it should be before the first if they're doing that. It's like those sort of swapped around, but the rest seem to go backwards in time. So, yeah.
Cool.
some of the episodes drag a bit and are a bit boring, but it's like hit or miss which weirdness really gets
Yeah.
you, So yeah, no, I had fun with it. I'm finished it off, and now I have more stuff to watch. Yay! Oh, and we'll get to it later, but I did watch episode 4 of Children of the Whale, so I'm going to be watching that along with you, though I am ahead of the manga, so.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. That's it.
So, yeah. So yeah, I watched a bit of stuff too. You're good. So I watched the new episode of Promised Neverland, which they you've gotten to the part with Sister Crone, right? She comes in really early.
Yeah, that's in the first volume.
Yeah.
Still. Like,
Okay.
it seems like they're
Yeah.
doing a rather slow adaptation, so.
Yeah, because she just got introduced at like the end of the second episode, and she's real scary in the third episode now.
Yeah,
She
she's a neat character.
Yeah, like the way, like the performance from the voice actor and just the way she animates, it's really, really scary. She's like probably the scariest part of the show so far, I think. Like the most intimidating and creepy. It's like, oh.
You were asking if new stuff was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Developments. Although I don't know how
Very
much is gonna
interesting.
happen with how slow the adaptation's been going. It might
Yeah.
speed up now, or it might stay slow and do like a really like slow pace kind of thriller type thing, and then if it does that, I have no idea where it's gonna end up at the end of this season.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like they're going slow enough that they anticipate a second season.
Mhm. And some other stuff I watched. I watched the second episode of Mysteria Friends, which that second episode is not very good. I don't think. It's
What the heck
like
is it called again?
Mysteria Friends or Minaria Friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Minaria Friends is what it is on Mal. That's why I was so confused.
Yeah.
Like, Mysterious Friends? Mysterio?
Yeah.
Minaria.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, this episode, like, it starts off with one of the dragon girl is sick, but it's like, oh, she just happens to be sick in a way that makes her, like, moan and lay in this bed all naked and dry them around on the
She's in
bed sheets,
heat.
and it looks real lewd.
She's in heat.
No, it turns out she was just shedding or something. I don't know.
I mean,
Like, her tail was shedding dragon scales, I guess.
that sounds like
I
something
don't-
that would make you moan.
Yeah.
It's like a
I don't
massage
know.
or something. It's like being in too tight clothes and finally getting to take them off. It's like,
Mm.
shit.
This episode gave me the feeling like I wonder if this was either written by or written for dudes who think that lesbians exist for men to have threesomes, and like it just kind of feels like that attitude. Like, I don't know about this. I don't know. The episodes are short and there's not going to be many of them, so I'll just keep watching, I guess. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I also watched a new episode of Magnificent Kotobuki. That show, I still really like that show. The dogfights in it look so good. And also they do a ton of dogfighting. There's, like, in this episode, out of the 22 minutes, probably 10 of that was just dogfighting. It's actually kind of cool. And, like, the planes, the way they move, it seems really natural. Like, very, very graceful and cool. And I like it a lot. It's a really cool show. I think it's going to be very underrated. And, like, no one's watching it because, of course. But yeah, that show's real cool. The planes are cool. And then I watched a couple more episodes of Revolutionary Girl Utena, but not a whole lot. I watched like 3 episodes of it, which 2 of them were really cool, and then the third one wasn't. But yeah, the 2 episodes I liked started to get into more like main plot stuff, and then the third one was a filler episode, and it was about a girl who turns into a cow, and then Utena has to hit her with a rake to make her not a cow anymore. And it was a weird episode. I don't know, that show is weird, but I'm into it. I'm gonna keep watching, I guess. But yeah. Other than that, there's, our weekly Rooster Teeth check-in with a new Ruby episode. It's quite
The
good.
season finale.
Yeah. And then there was also the Genlock premiere.
Yeah, I
That
haven't
was
watched
also-
Shenlock yet. I started watching the
Oh,
first episode, but had to go and I never got back to it.
uh,
I
I thought it was pretty good. Seems promising at least.
neat. I feel like Ruby last week felt like more of a finale than this week. I
Yeah, I
feel like
think
they
so.
maybe could have just combined both. And now I understand why because I thought it'd be going another week, because I heard, oh yeah, they're gonna overlap 2 episodes of Genlock with it. It's because they released 2 episodes on the
Hmm.
first day, one for anyone and one for members only. The one for anyone was the one that they streamed like a month ago that I
Yeah.
missed, which is the
Okay.
pilot.
Yeah. Yeah. About Ruby, yeah, I agree with what you say. Like this episode felt like not superfluous, but like it should have been cut down and put into the last episode. It really did feel. It felt like they had loose ends that they needed to tie up, but also had to throw in a bit of extra stuff as well to like pad out the length. I guess. I don't know. It's still good. The one complaint I have about it is that it seems like they're kind of pushing for the Blake Yang ship, and then but like when they were in the plane and those two were holding hands, they then immediately have Nora pipe up like, yeah, I forget what she says, but it just kind of undercuts any
So
like relationship stuff and makes it seem like they're implying like, oh, maybe actually they're just really good friends.
no,
Like I
I
don't know.
think it wasn't, because specifically the
Yeah.
time where it kind of hints that like Nora and Ren are together, which is then later confirmed, where she's like, "Get your hands off my man," is
Mm-hmm.
them slowly holding hands in a very similar scene, also on an airhead in a season finale
Mm-hmm.
in an airship.
Yeah.
And I think it's supposed
I
to
don't
be
know.
like a reference to that. But also, I don't think that that's the proper time to really establish the relationship either, because like
Mm-hmm.
they did show it as a very tender moment, like they're all kind of as a team helping Blake, not just Yang, but Yang you can kind of see is like kind of more tender, but Blake
Yeah.
just killed her abuser who groomed her as a child. You can't just jump straight into a new relationship right off that, or it seems kind of weird. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't seem healthy. And I think next season is going to have a lot of the two of them sort of building that up.
Yeah.
So,
I hope
so
so.
I'm kind of glad they didn't. And also, Nora's supposed to be a tension breaker there, because it's like,
Yeah.
it's
Mm.
actually a pretty heavy scene. It doesn't seem like it is, but it's like, yeah, she just murdered her abuser. She's dealing with a bunch of stuff, and like people are trying to comfort her. That's a heavy
Mm-hmm.
scene, especially for anyone who's like dealt with anything like that, I think.
Yeah.
So I think they wanted that to kind of lighten the mood.
Mm. I guess. But yeah. Now we get to wait some number of months for anything else from them. Do we know when the next season starts?
They
Do
usually
you know?
start in October, so probably gonna
Oh,
be around then
okay.
again.
Oh, great. 9 months.
Yeah. Yay.
Oh boy. Yeah. And the only real thought I have on Genlock so far is that my only fear is that there may be being a little stereotypical with people's nationalities because like, oh, the Japanese guy has a samurai oni style mech. They're like, okay, come on. That. Mm.
I mean,
So
I'm not trying to defend it, but I think to
yeah.
some degree it feels kind of like a love letter to like old mech shows and stuff that
Yeah.
definitely really did that a lot, like G Gundam. Like,
Yeah. G Gundam, that fantastic show that everyone loves.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of
Oh,
understand why they might have done it, but it's like you don't have to. Like, even if you're doing a
yeah.
love letter to old shows, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is they've kind of shown the mechs and they haven't been like fully designed yet. I guess they're just like a
Mm.
core frame, so maybe like the characters are supposed to like decide what they look like. I guess I don't know.
Important to note, I
Yeah.
think she's the Ukrainian character, or they're the Ukrainian character, the purple one.
Yeah.
They're,
I don't know.
I believe, either gender neutral or gender fluid.
Oh, cool.
And the actor is as well, I believe, from what
If
I've
they are,
heard.
then I guess it hasn't come up yet, or I just didn't notice. I don't know.
So I'd heard there was a lot of rumors because of who was playing the part is
Yeah.
somewhere that I don't remember exactly, but someone
Mhm.
posted someone who had seen a bit ahead, who was doing a review, like some film critic,
Yeah.
who mentioned
Uh
that
huh.
yes, they are. Like they confirmed.
Okay.
So it's
That'd be cool.
somewhere on Tumblr.
Okay.
I can grab the
Cool.
link.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
All
no, I
right.
can't. I was like, yeah, I reblogged on my Ruby blog. It's like, no, I didn't.
That's fine.
Right. Because it's not Ruby, so I did reblog it. I don't know where it is now. Shit.
Oh, that's okay. We'll find out eventually.
Eventually.
But yeah, that was kind of it for this week. I didn't do a lot of anime stuff this week. Just been mostly listening to a podcast called Friends at the Table.
Ooh,
Just been
D&D.
getting through one. Yeah, it's a actual play like tabletop gaming podcast. I've been listening to one of their sci-fi seasons. It's very good.
Neat.
Well, yeah, but yeah. Shall we move on to book club then?
Alright, sounds good to me.
All right.
Alright.
Want to start with Aka this week?
Did I start with Akka last week?
I don't know. I was trying to remember that. I
Okay.
couldn't remember.
I'm fine with Akka. I'm fine with doing
Yeah.
Akka
Okay.
first.
Yeah.
This episode was fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot more happening than the last few.
Yeah.
It's all deception. So first off, blue-haired guy, Nino,
You know. Yeah.
definitely is working for someone else as well as the five chiefs, or one of the other chiefs, not just Grossealer, because last time someone else phoned him, and it's like, oh, he probably is. And this time, that same person kind of phones again, assume the same, because he says, don't phone me, like, don't get scared and phone me again, which kind of is like, yeah, you can't be doing that. Like, I almost got in shit. And that person who phoned, we know a few things. I still think the sister is somehow involved in the plot because, like, the present she's sending to people, and then Nino, like, specifically, he's saying to the person on the phone, I'm giving you the report plus the present. And it's like, aren't those Jean's reports that they were talking about? Possibly.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's either Jean's
Possibly.
reports or his reports. It wasn't super clear, but it was kind of implied. Yeah, these are presents to go with reports. What the sister said. So I'm thinking they're Jean's reports or Otis. I could be wrong. I might have misinterpreted that, but he says something like, "Oh, the prince's men are watching the sister." So clearly he's not talking to the prince or one of the prince's men. So we can eliminate that at least. We know it's not Grossular if we don't know, but if we're assuming it's the same person who called when he's there, it's not Grossular. So we can sort of pseudo eliminate Grossular off that logic. Figure out who this other person's working for. It could be the aide to the king, is what I'm guessing right now is most likely, or it could be Mauve. Her IDing him and him saying there's an issue could be like a red herring, because then she's like, oh, I made him, like, this might be an issue, I'm worried I'm gonna phone. Not sure. Yeah, I like how this one got more into, like, its own mini conspiracy, though, around this new town. That this town sounds like shit. I wouldn't want to live there either. Apparently it's really hard to get out. You're just stuck in the old days and have to follow the stuff even if you don't want to. And you can't leave. It's like, that's not a free society.
Yeah.
And we see the guy going like, hey, I want to buy that, like, get a phone from you. It's like, knowing that's illegal smuggling, he's like, well, if you pay me in cigarettes. And then Otis kind of talks later. It's like, yeah, people in my building are all businessmen that want me to, like, he essentially says, like, they want me to make connections and, like, not necessarily smuggle for them, but, like, push them in other countries, like, other states, other of the 13 states, and they pay him his cigarettes, and that's where he gets them from. That's what it's implied, but it could also be implied he does various jobs for cigarettes. I can't remember. Did we find out what was in the letter that they found? Did they open it?
The
I think it just
the
had a
letter in
cigarette.
his hotel. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they imply it was just a cigarette.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there's like an actual letter or not. I couldn't remember.
No.
But yeah, so he gets
Yeah.
another cigarette. Another
Mhm.
weird one, which maybe he is on it because now we can maybe imply that the guy asking for the phone, that was like their code. Possibly. Maybe he is
Yeah.
on it. But that could also be a red herring.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying overthinking everything and being very wrong, but
Yeah. That was one of the things I really liked about this episode was them talking about the magazines and cigarettes, and like finally offering up that explanation of that stuff. It's like early on you're supposed to be really suspicious of the magazines, and then they explain it like, oh, maybe it was red herring, or was it?
they might still be suspicious because it's like, well, maybe the people in his building, maybe the whole coup is just coming out of his building. Who knows? Which then would make sense if the sister's in charge again as the landlady.
Yeah.
Coming full circle. Nino for sure snuck into the country after him because when the two guys grab him, he's the one who slaps him on the head. It's the same voice. You see a tiny bit of what looks like blue hair, and it's clearly not the other ACA member, Biscuit.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's definitely Nino.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, as a reporter, as his cover, he might break that. Or, I wouldn't be surprised if a coming episode, John's like, you know, I saw you there, right? Like, I could tell that was you that helped me. You were undercover for this story. When's it coming out? And that might have been, like, his reasoning behind, like, yeah, no, let them all go free. I won't say anything, because he knows, well, Nino is there, and he's supposed to be a reporter, right? This is going to get out. Which then might just not be relevant and never come up again, but it also might.
Maybe.
Because it helps Nino's cover. If it does. So I'm really curious about Otis's thing for bread too now, because it started because he was always buying the bread, that was whatever, but then he's like, right, anything as long as it's bread, and that makes you go, why bread so much?
Because bread is tasty. It's good.
Yeah, but it almost feels like there's a specific reason why it might only be bread from each place.
Maybe.
Because maybe that's how he's making his contact, is at bread shops. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
I like how leisurely he is too. It's like, you can't talk to anyone. Like, no more going to restaurants like this. He's just like in the middle, out, like, it's 2:30, let's go get food. And that's why he said we should walk. He just wanted to make an excuse to go to another restaurant, it feels like.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I want to try the local cuisine. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's some neat stuff going on. We got to see the finished pictures of her with the king, which again I think might be specific to something. Who knows? I like the prince's men. They get that one little thing. It's like, I was distracted by the dessert. And it's like, you can have that dessert here. Like,
yeah.
they're all obsessed with dessert because the king is, and it's the funniest thing to me. Like, it's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah. I'll say that character, the like Prince's spy or whoever that is, that's a fun character whenever they pop up.
Yeah.
I think they call up a couple more times. They're good. I like them.
think it's also interesting.
Yeah.
Nino notices the prince's men following her, but he didn't seem to notice the guy who tried to frame Otis following her, which we know he's doing, like,
Yeah.
the cop.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't mention the cop at all, which might be relevant, might not be.
We'll
have to see.
Maybe.
I'm certain that character is going to be relevant later on. How? Not entirely sure, but probably will. And yeah, I like the whole thing. As soon as they're like, he heard us talking about the coup, I'm like, that's too much. Clearly they're not going to talk about the coup this episode. It's like, oh, the other coup.
Yeah. Oh, the other coup, of course.
But the leader of that district, or whatever, when he calls him up to get him the gag order, he says, I want to talk about another coup. So I feel like he potentially might have passed some information along there at the end, which we didn't see, which he'll either report back to Mauve or to the other one of those generals whose name I forget.
Yeah.
The one who's on his side and openly declared he was on his side this time, saying he doesn't have any contacts, which, if he does...
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, that one was Lilium, the pretty boy. The very pretty boy.
Right, Lilium, because we get to meet his older brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the bar, and he's like, why don't you bring him with you? Yeah, we get the whole thing with, like, the guy who, like, never went back and is, like, super abusing his power, and they want to get rid of him. It's just like, it's probably a good thing he doesn't go back. They'll put his head on a stake, like...
Yeah.
Clearly the chiefs know about the coups that have been attempted in that country. They know it's not all fine. Well, he's also from that country, so he probably has eyes and ears around.
Yeah. There was one line of dialogue that I thought kind of stuck out to me, and I just wanted to point out. It was when Gene was talking to Warbler, the like ACA head guy for that district. When Gene was saying like, "Oh, I was going to suggest you to like take my place when I get transferred somewhere," and the Warbler was saying like, "I'm not as good at staying on good terms with the brass as you are," and like that says so much about Gene just as a person and how he does his job. Like I feel like that's such a good subtle way to kind of build him up more.
I think it's also interesting because, right, like with the brass, and he's working on a coup in his country where one of the brass is from, and he would also have to possibly like deal with this guy who they also said like, we don't like him, but he's not on our target list right now, which might also hint that they're the ones also talking to him and that he's working with them, trying to cause it. Which might be possible as well. Because if he's like, yeah, I love the district I'm from, I want them to have the coup and overthrow, that'd be pretty interesting, but we don't know. But yeah, it's there's neat stuff.
Yeah. So yeah. You good? Move on to Wales.
I think so, yeah. I can't think of anything else.
Okay. So yeah, Children of the Whales. They went inside the whale and showed what the thing is, kind of, at the very end of the episode. Got a big squid covered in flowers on a rocking chair. Or something, whatever that thing is. That's what it looked like to me, at least.
They did hint at what it is.
Did they?
Yeah, Lyco says, I know what it is. You've touched it before.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's going to be something similar to the thing on the other island.
Yeah.
Make the people's hearts go away or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think that's a huge spoiler. I think it was intended for you to figure that out by that line.
I kind of figured it was something similar to that anyway.
Yeah, like a noose.
Yeah.
God, I forgot how pretty this show was. God damn. It's gorgeous.
Huh. I wouldn't call it gorgeous. I don't know. I know I've mentioned in the past, I think the character art and the background art kind of clashes at times. Well, like individually they look really good, but then together they look kind of odd.
Opinions, though, on what I will refer to as the dream sequence.
I didn't like the film grain effect, for one thing.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. I kind of zoned out at that point, like not on purpose, but I did. I was like, wait. So I only kind of like half caught it all, and was mostly confused by the girl, because the girl was like, I would thought she was gonna be like a regular human, and then she came up and gave him these visions, and then like turned back to normal. So I guess she was possessed or something. And then she pops up at the end with the rocking chair squid thing, whatever that thing is called. And so I guess she is being controlled by that, I guess. I don't know. It was weird.
I just thought that dream sequence was really pretty. It had really cool use of colors. Really, really cool use of colors.
Yeah. The show does use color very well. I do like that about it. It's very good. Yeah. I don't know. One of my biggest questions in this episode is who was Ginshu, because she just kind of showed up. I don't think she was in the first 3 episodes at all, or if she was, it was very minor.
Nope, she just
She just
shows
kind
up.
of she just shows up and is in love with Chakuro and being called Big Sister, I guess.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed in Netflix subs. Just it's like it's miss. That's like no, I can clearly hear them saying Onei-chan. Like,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like too much about Netflix subs is they tend to remove like honorifics and stuff.
They're
So,
also not on time a lot. There was one line that I got the gist of what Chakuro said because he was saying like quit calling me Chaki when they're like teasing him after. That the sub just didn't even show up.
Oh,
It
wow.
just cut from the one before to one after. I'm like, fucking Netflix subs. God, no wonder no one watches on Netflix. Why don't they update them later? I guess not.
Yeah.
But
Wow. Yeah. And so yeah, I feel like this episode was really slow. Like not a whole lot happened. I don't know. I at the end of this episode, I felt like next week I'm going to say that this episode and next episode should have been combined. That we should have gotten all the information about the squid at the end of this episode, or not the squid or the whale internals or whatever it is. You know, this episode felt very slow at times.
I do think there's one interesting thing.
Oh yeah.
Compared to the manga, the inside of the whale in this is shown very robotically.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that in the manga. I remember in the manga it's more like just in a deep cave almost.
Huh.
But I could be remembering wrong. I didn't go back to check, but
that was something I thought was really interesting. I'd actually forgotten about that. I didn't make a note of it. Was that like, yeah, that internal stuff is all like very high tech looking. It looks like some kind of actual facility, whereas everything else is, you know, made of mud basically.
and to get into it you had to crawl through a tiny hole, and I can just imagine all the elders crawling through one at a time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my back.
Yeah.
There's probably another way in, I would guess.
Yeah, they probably have a special door at the back of the elders' chambers or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they introduce a bunch of characters this episode.
Yeah.
It's weird. But
it's really weird considering they just had spent the first like 3 episodes introducing and then killing off a bunch of people.
yeah. Well,
Like, okay, here's a bunch more to replace all the ones we just killed.
the weirdest thing to me about this introduction is it's all the vigilantes who are like the protectors and like the police force. It's like, where the fuck were they during the fight? Like, we didn't see them all. But maybe that's why other parts of the island don't seem to have been hit as hard. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, maybe. Because, yeah, there's that guy with the eye patch, and they're like, oh, he's the leader of the vigilantes, so he's the strongest. And it's like, where were you?
Oh, I think they
What were
did
you up to,
actually show
dude?
him when the fight started. He was like on a boat at the bottom, and I think he just returned from a scout or something.
Okay.
He's like at the bottom of the whale on a boat or some shit. I don't remember. He's shown briefly
Yeah.
in one of the earlier episodes, just chilling out at the bottom of the whale.
Okay.
I don't remember
Interesting.
if that was relevant or not to where he was during the fight, but
Yeah. Huh. So, yeah. I don't know. I kind of don't have a whole lot more about this episode. 'Cause, yeah, it was just kind of slow. But, yeah, it's good. I'm
yeah,
into it.
it's been a slow adaptation again. Like, it took 2
Yeah.
episodes for the first volume, so they might do another 3 for the second, and then 3 for, like, 3 per volume and just do the first 4.
Yeah.
It's actually probably what they're most likely gonna do, I think.
Mm.
I think that gives
Yeah,
it a
so-
decent endpoint.
Yeah. So how far into the manga are you?
I am 5 volumes in, but I have up to 7. I need to read the other 2. And I
Okay.
ordered number 8 because it just came out. I need to catch up.
Nice.
As I said, I
Okay.
have way too much content to read right now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So then by the end of the season, could potentially have even more read beyond what the anime does, maybe. Okay. Cool. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it for Wales this week, I think. So
Not
yeah.
much more?
No,
No idea.
I wrote down. One of my notes is the name of the old man, Byakuroku. Byakuroku. That's it. And it's like, I don't know why I wrote his name down. He kind of didn't do anything. He's just there and senile, I guess.
No, his scene is so good though. They're like, we've unanimously decided to sink here. He's like, Father, I don't want to die. I don't want to drown. It's like,
Yeah.
you sure that's unanimous?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that scene is such like the epitome of like kind of how the world is, where it's like, you kids don't know anything. We're gonna do, like, they're running the world into the ground, and they're like, yeah, fuck the people older than us. We don't care. Fuck the people younger than us. We're the adults. We're the smart ones, kind of. It felt a lot like stuff I see in politics, and it's like, yeah, they hit that nail on the head with the council.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an interesting scene. There's like, that's kind of my, like, not really frustrating about this show. It's just like, there's so many things I'm like, have these ideas about, and it's like, I know the council's hiding something. Like, they know about what's in the center of the whale, and we've known that for like 3 episodes now, and like, they're just taking forever to get there.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know.
It's like one-line things that announce stuff, like Lyco's going like, we were going to Felina to destroy it. We were told there was hell on Earth, but we brought hell. Like, oh, so she was on an assault squad to destroy it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, they've been told their whole life it would be hell there. Like, there's some sort of misinformation about them all. Interesting. But, like, it's one line, and then it's like, well, how does this work now? You give one line that gives us, like, 3 more questions.
Yeah.
Rip Sammy. That's the only thing we can all be certain about. Rip Sammy.
Yep.
Remember
Sammy
when they
was
built her up to be like a love interest rival?
Sammy was the girl, right?
Blonde hair. Yeah, her and Lycos were like built up to fight over a Chakro. It's gonna be like generic shonen, like rich girl really choose, and then a band of murdering juggalos showed up.
Yeah.
Waltzed into town.
Yeah. Pour one out for her. Yeah. Oh.
I kind of like that they did that. It's unique.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I mean, it kind of sucks that it's killing the female character for man pain.
Yeah. But also, I'm kind of glad that they didn't go into the male main character with 2 women love interests, you know? That is such a tired trope. That, like, okay, at least they're not doing that, so.
I think one of the interesting things so far is, well, Chakra has been pretty, like, vocal and, like, pushing stuff. He kind of hasn't made any of the decisions until this last one to, like, go stop.
Yeah.
When he finds out, for the most part, he's just kind of being the observer, which makes sense because he's, like, the historian, right? It's like, they find Lycos, okay, that he's like, I'll bring her back. That's, like, his one other thing he made the choice on, but then after that, it's like, Oni takes him and her back to the island. Suo's, like, deciding a lot of stuff for him, too, at the time. It's like, this is really the only time he's kind of acted on his own so far, and that's when, second time, because the first time was finding Lycos and he was all alone. This is the second time, and Oni and Suo, the 2 people he usually talks to and asks, one is refusing him, the other is in prison, so they're not there to tell him what to do. And it kind of is an interesting way to show his character and how he's very he seems dependent on people, but not so much that he isn't, like, able to act himself. And I think that's, like, a really neat way to just, like, show it, because a lot of the time there's, like, no thought into how characters act and stuff, but, like, the way he acts seems very well thought out around his character, and how he's going to act in which situations, when he's going to defer to other people, when he's going to make the choices himself.
Yeah.
Which could change, too, because characters grow, but I just thought I'd noticed that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat, like, that actually says a lot about him as a person.
Yeah. I hadn't, like, totally thought about that, but you're right, yeah. That is cool. That's a cool thing that they did.
Yeah. I actually, it's been so long since I read the rest, I don't even remember if he grows as a person, if he stays like that, or...
Nice.
It's been a while.
Nice. So yeah. Yeah. I guess that'll about do it for this week then. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
Go read my fan fiction. I still need to read that Ruby one you put out.
Oh yeah, it's not very good.
I started to, but when I was on the last episode of Humanity Has Declined, so like I need to finish this first, and then I like went to bed after instead. Whoops. We'll get to it.
That's okay. You're not missing much.
I'm missing short, out on Ruby Fix.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I'm not super happy with how that one turned out, but it's fine.
Sometimes it's good just to make, even if you aren't too happy with it.
Yeah.
Just making something.
Yeah, it got the idea out of my head, so that was the whole point, you know.
Yeah, I've got some I need to work on for that same reason.
Mhm.
I have an idea in my head which is terrible.
Oh, great!
But
your terrible ideas are the best ones.
Stream idea:
oh,
drunken puppet show with stuffed animals.
Interesting.
Possibly recreate like anime episodes or scenes with fucking stuffed animals just while you're drunk, just flopping them around. It's genius. No one has fucking done it. No one's like done some drunken weird puppet show with like obviously not real puppets that are meant for it. It could be the next big thing.
It could be. You never know.
I need to write a script. Maybe I'll find a fanfic I have and do it sometime.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah. Great. That's yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry. That's my last idea.
Yeah. All right.
Trademark. No one take that.
Yeah. So yeah, for that and other great ideas, you can find us on YouTube at shenanimegans.moe, or you can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sasam. And we're working on getting all the episodes uploaded to YouTube. We're almost caught up. We'll get caught up this week, I promise. Maybe.
Don't make that promise. I'm the one who has to do it.
Yeah.
You know me.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't get it, then people can yell at you on Twitter at Sasambots. They can also yell at me on Twitter at that lastly, but that won't do anything because you upload.
They can yell at you to yell at me.
Yeah, that works. Or you can join the Discord at shenanimegans.moe/Discord.
And then you can yell at both of us at once.
Yeah. You can yell at other people too. Please don't yell at other people.
Please be kind and civil. Unless if they suck, then yell all you want.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll about do it for this week then.
Yeah, I don't got anything else, so.
Yeah, I'm all good too.
Alrighty then. Take care, everyone. See you next
we'll see
week.
ya. Bye bye.